The Supreme Court has just handed Donald Trump the most devastating legal defeat of his political career. In a stunning 7-2 ruling announced only minutes ago, the justices flatly rejected his presidential immunity appeal, and, in a twist nobody saw coming, all three of Trump's own appointees ruled against him. But the shock didn't stop there. After years of silence, Warren Buffett, the famously apolitical oracle of Omaha, broke that silence with a statement rattling both Wall Street and Washington. What he said is already being described as historic. This moment is no longer about a single court case. It marks the total collapse of Trump's long-running legal strategy. And what happens in the next 72 hours could determine whether he ultimately faces federal prison. Let's break down what has been unfolding behind closed doors. Trump's impenetrable legal fortress. For nearly 2 years, Trump has built what his team proudly dubbed an impenetrable legal fortress. Ever since the federal indictments began landing in 2023, he's thrown every possible defense at the wall. Executive privilege, sweeping immunity claims, even arguments attacking the very existence of the special counsel. His lawyers, Todd, Blanche and Chris Kaiser, pushed the idea that a president, especially Trump, should be completely shielded from prosecution. Whether the case involved classified documents, January 6th, or election interference, Trump's position was always the same. I was president, therefore I'm immune. Meanwhile, his trials are piling up, and his legal costs have soared past $100 million. His political campaign has effectively become a legal defense fund. All of this comes down to one monumental question. Can a former president be prosecuted for crimes committed while in office? And the institution forced to answer that question is none other than the Supreme Court, an institution Trump believed he controlled. Trump expected loyalty. The court gave him the law. Trump has never been shy about expecting loyalty. After all, he appointed 3 of the 9 Supreme Court justices, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Barrett, and regularly reminded the public of that fact. In late October, he declared that any suggestion his own appointees might rule against him was fake news, and insisted that real justices understand presidential power. He openly pressured the court, raising serious concerns about judicial independence. And this wasn't new behavior. Trump has a long documented pattern of turning on allies the moment they stop serving his interests. Jeff Sessions, Bill Barr, Mike Pence, Kevin McCarthy, the list goes on. Now his own Supreme Court appointees are the latest to be thrown into that pattern. The case, absolute power or constitutional accountability, Trump's lawyers argued for total presidential immunity, insisting that a president cannot be prosecuted for anything done while in office, even after leaving office. The special counsel countered that Trump's position would effectively turn the president into a king, unrestrained by law. When the justices realized what granting Trump's request would mean, the end of presidential accountability, they reached a breaking point. The Supreme Court's stunning decision. The court's 7-2 ruling was decisive and unprecedented. Chief Justice Roberts wrote the majority opinion, using unusually direct constitutional language that legal scholars are already comparing to United States versus Nixon. Trump reportedly exploded when he heard the news. To him, any justice who applies the law equally is a traitor. And now that includes the very justices he put on the bench. This leaves Trump in a dangerous position. If he keeps attacking the court, he burns bridges with the conservative legal establishment. If he accepts the decision, he admits he is not above the law, undermining his strongman image. Either way, Trump loses something he desperately needs: the fallout. Within MAGA world, inside Trump's inner circle, panic is spreading. If Trump's own appointees are willing to rule against him, his allies are left wondering who he'll turn on next. Moderate Republicans fear political backlash, while hardcore MAGA supporters accuse the justices of being corrupted by the deep state. Even Lindsey Graham, one of Trump's most loyal defenders, criticized Trump's attacks on the court and urged restraint. When Lindsey Graham starts backing away, you know the alarms are blaring. Legal experts across the spectrum agree This ruling is final. Conservative commentator Andrew McCarthy said it plainly. There is no appeal from here. This is the end of the road. Even Alan Dershowitz called the court's language devastating. Then Warren Buffett stepped in, and this is where things went from historic to seismic. Warren Buffett, who almost never comments on partisan issues, released a statement through Berkshire Hathaway. The Supreme Court's decision reaffirms what every American business leader knows. No one is above the law. The market depends on the rule of law. When that principle is questioned, it threatens the entire foundation of our economic system. Investors heard him loud and clear. Berkshire Hathaway's stock jumped 2% in after-hours trading. For Buffett to weigh in, at all means he sees genuine economic risk in Trump's immunity claims. This is no longer just a legal crisis. It's a financial one. Political earthquake ahead. If 2024 with Trump launching attacks on the Supreme Court, including his own appointees, Republicans are bracing for impact. Democrats, meanwhile, will use this ruling as proof of one thing. Donald Trump believes he is above the law. The Supreme Court just proved he's not. Expect to see this judgment quoted in campaign ads, debates, and speeches for months. The stakes for American democracy. This case goes beyond Trump. If he had won, it would have rewritten the presidency into something closer to authoritarian rule, a leader beyond accountability, able to commit crimes with impunity. The founders explicitly rejected that idea. Checks and balances only work if leaders follow the rules. When the norms crumble, democracy crumbles with them. Where this leaves us, Trump has now suffered the worst legal defeat of his life. His immunity shield is gone. His criminal trials will accelerate. His allies are fracturing. And the business world is signaling alarm. We are witnessing a collision between one man who believes he is above the law and a nation built on the principle that no one is. The next few weeks will be crucial, legally, politically, and historically. This story isn't over. It's only just beginning.